Hi guys, Justin the Critic here, and there's a lot of reasons why you might not see a movie in the theater. One, you don't have a lot of time. Movies are getting really long. The last movie I saw, Cars 3, was almost 2 hours. And money. These movie prices, they just keep getting higher. To go to like a 7, 9 o'clock movie, it's going to be $10 in some cases. And two, what if you feel too old? I mean, Cars came out in 2006, and now we're finally getting a sequel. Well, I mean, a good sequel in 2017. So, what if when you were seeing it in 2006, and now it's like 11 years later, and now the people that took you, they're like, I'm too old for this. I don't want to see Cars. What if you got like nieces or nephews that are obsessed, and you want to have something you can talk about? So for those dads, for those uncles, for people that want to know what's up with this Cars universe, and specifically Cars 3, I'm going to use my toys, all these cool Cars toys I have, Miss Frida! And I'm going to recap the whole movies so you can save $10 and you can save 2 hours of your time. So enjoy Cars 3 spoiler recap by Justin the Critic. So the movie starts out, and you got Mack and you got Lightning McQueen, and Lightning McQueen's like, oh, I'm so excited for the start of this new Piston Cup series, but I miss Doc, he was always there, and Mack's like, yeah, but he taught you a lot, so, you know, you can still do it. Yeah, go out there and win. And then you got Lightning McQueen, and you got Bobby Swift, and you got Cal Weathers, and these are the ones that are like always front runners. And then you got some other cars in the mix, but these are the ones that are battling back and forth. You got Lightning McQueen wins a few races, and then Cal Weathers wins a few races, and Bobby Swift wins a few races, and then Lightning McQueen wins a few more, and it's like, oh, we're one of the guys, we love racing together, and this is great. And then after each race, they go on and they get interviewed. So, Lightning McQueen, how's it like winning? And he's like, I love winning, but most of the thing I love about racing is spending time with my friends. Oh, Cal, you won this week, so what's Lightning have to do to beat you? It's like, why are you talking about Lightning when I won? And, oh, your blinker's on. What do you mean my blinker's on? I got you. That's funny. And they're just having a good time. And then later in the season, you got all these new cars, like they're having a great race, and then Jackson Storm beats them at the last split second, and they're like, who is that guy? I don't know. Do you know who that is? Jackson Storm. Hey, Lightning McQueen, it's so great to finally beat you. Did you say meet or beat? I think you heard me. And so, Jackson Storm, you beat Lightning McQueen and Cal Weathers, how do you feel? Well, those old guys? You know, I'm the next car, I'm the best car, I'm going to be winning for a long time. And there you had it. Jackson Storm's going to be winning for a long time. So over the course of the season, Jackson starts winning, and then you got other cars that start dropping out of the race. You got more of these new next-gen cars, and they start winning, and Lightning's having a really tough time with this change. And then after one race, you got the media, and they're asking Lightning all these different questions. So, Lightning, are you going to retire? Cal retired. And he's like, what? Cal retired? Cal, why did you retire? Well, my uncle said it best. You know, the strip the King Weathers? He's like, the youngsters would tell you, but I'll miss all the fun we had. Well, I gotta do what I gotta do. Get in here, Cal. We gotta move on. We gotta do whatever retired race cars do. Hey, where's Bobby? Bobby! Bobby! Why you hear the news? Bobby? You're not Bobby. No, I'm Danny, bro. I'm Bobby's replacement. No! So it just keeps on going. And last race of the season, and the cars aren't... Lightning McQueen's like the only car that started the season that's still in the race. And then he's falling back because they're just so much faster. And then he's like, I will win. And he gets in a big crash. And everybody's like, Lightning McQueen got in the crash of the century. I'm me, Chick Hicks. That guy's finally going to retire, that guy. And I don't know. Lightning McQueen wants to race. Lightning McQueen will race. Lightning McQueen will race. It's just, he has too much heart in him. But they don't know. Lightning McQueen, he disappears. And they're like, where is Lightning McQueen? Well, Lightning McQueen is in his shop in Radiator Springs with thinking about Doc Hudson. And it's like, they forced you out of this race. I want to give up when I want to give up. I want to exit at my own terms. So then he goes, tells friends, and then they get on the phone with Click and Clack, Dusty and Rusties. And they're like, you gotta come race one more year. You gotta go up on top. You can't end your season like that, your career like that. Plus, we got a brand new Rusty's Racing Center, and they're like, what? You got a high-tech racing center? I can train exactly like Jackson Storm? And they're like, yep, we'll get you down there immediately, and you can focus on the race in 2 weeks. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna race. I love racing. Yay! So then you get a montage of Mack and Lightning, and they're driving to the Rusty's Racing Center. They get there, and it's just like an ode to Lightning McQueen. And they're like, wow, you're something special. They built all this for you. Well, and other racers too. Well, mostly for you. So then he goes there, and he meets Rusty and Dusty, and they're like, how could you afford all this? Well, we had to sell Rusty's. What? You sold Rusty's? Why? Well, you're the best race car. You gave us a lot. We got to give something back to you. Oh, well, I'm going to miss racing for you guys. Don't drive like my brother. Don't drive like my brother. And then there's Nathan Fillion car. And he's like, oh my gosh, my star pupil is here. Lightning McQueen. You know, we're going to have a great year. And we're going to sell lots of merchandise. We're going to sell Lightning McQueen grills, Mr. McLean. And he's like, I'm not a product. I'm a racer. Yeah, but for every loss you lose, if you have another crash like that, it's going to damage your legacy, and we're going to be able to sell less merch. I don't want to quit. I don't want to sell merch. I'm a race car. I want to race. Well, we'll see. And then there's Cruz Ramirez, which is like, I am your trainer. I'm going to make you faster. I'm going to make you bigger. And I'm going to make you stronger. And I'm going to make you the best race car you can be. And she's like, forward, backwards. Grab your lunch. Grab your lunch. And he's like, this is not how I train. Oh, we haven't even done the treadmill. We haven't done the simulator. Let me just get on those roads. Let me train the way Doc used to. Let me go places. I can't train in a simulator. Let's just try it. And he's like, fine. When can I go on the simulator? When can I go on the simulator? No, we gotta do the treadmills. But the treadmills are locked at 5 miles per hour. And, I'm grumpy old Lightning McQueen. And, the simulator's open. I'm gonna go on the simulator. And then you're going to crash. You hit a wall. You're on fire. Lightning McQueen, I need to see you at my office. You can't race. We gotta find somebody else. You can't find somebody else. I am the face of Rusty's. Well, one more race. If I don't win the race in Florida in 2 weeks, I will retire. But you gotta let me train my way. You know the old race tracks Doc used to race on? The Fireball Beach, Thunder Hollow. I got to go there and I gotta train. Fine, but if you lose, you quit racing. If I lose, I quit racing. So they're on Fireball Beach. You got Lightning McQueen and you got Cruz Ramirez. But before this happens, at the Rusty's Racing Center, Lightning McQueen gets a new coat of paint to sell another toy because Disney merch. So they're on the Fireball Beach, and Lightning McQueen's like, "Phew," and Cruz Ramirez like, I spin out because I can't race on sand. And then Lightning McQueen's like, ugh, you're racing on sand, you gotta ease into it. And then she's like, ugh. And they waste a whole day because she's trying to track his speed, but she can't get close enough because she's racing on sand and she's never done that before. So Lightning McQueen gets really frustrated because how can I get better speed if you can't even keep up with me? I'm so much better than you because I'm a famous race car and you're just a trainer. And then she gets disappointed, he's disappointed. And then they're like, there's a race at Thunder Hollow. We gotta go. I gotta improve my speed. But it's a public race, you know, people are gonna like know you're Lightning McQueen. And he's like, oh, I gotta find some way to disguise. Mack's like, well, I'm the king of disguises. See, guys, we're here at Thunder Hollow. I'm in disguise. I'm Jocko Flacco. You don't know what that is? Look it up. And they're like, but Lightning, we gotta disguise you. How are we gonna disguise you? And then Luigi and Guido's like, I know an idea. So they cover him in dirt. And then he's like, I'm not Lightning McQueen, remember. I'm Chester Whipperfield. It's like, okay, I'll be Francis Beltline. And they enter the race, but they don't know that it's a Demolition Derby! And then you got a school bus, and she's like, I Miss Fritter! You're going down! Lemonade! And then they're crashing, and oh no, Demolition Derby havoc, and oh no! And then I'm stuck in the mud. You gotta turn right to go left. What do you mean? That makes no sense. And at the end, Lightning McQueen gets stuck in the mud, and Francis Beltline stuck in the mud, and Miss Fritter's like all of them except for Cruz Ramirez is Francis Beltline, and Lightning McQueen is Chester Whipperfield. And then she gets stuck, and he goes, but he gets stuck, and she crashes, and it's a big havoc, and then the winner is Francis Beltline. I won? What do you mean I won? And then something happens, and Lightning McQueen gets cleaned, and oh my gosh, it's Lightning McQueen at the Demolition Derby! What is he doing at the Demolition Derby? And all the news media are like, Lightning McQueen was caught at the Demolition Derby. And Lightning McQueen, he's definitely not going to race in a week because he doesn't even know how to race. He's in Demolition Derbies. Lightning McQueen's career is over, and that's fine because I'm Chick Hicks and I beat him because I'm better than Lightning McQueen even though I have one piston cup and he has 7. Ha 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 ha. And then they're traveling down with Mack, and Cruz Ramirez is like, I can't believe I actually want to race. I'm not a racer. I'm just a trainer. And he's like, yeah, but we're supposed to focus on getting me better. I'm the best race car. I'm Lightning McQueen. And then Cruz Ramirez is like, stop, Mack. Stop. Did you think I wanted to be a trainer? Did you think I trained my whole life to train other race cars? No. I wanted to be a racer. I know I can do it, but when I had my chance, I blew it. They were bigger, they were faster than me. I was a woman and I had it harder than everybody else. I quit. You can train yourself. And then they go and they sleep, and Lightning can't sleep because he's like, what just happened? And then he calls up old Mater on the phone and he says, Mater, do you miss me? And he's like, of course I miss you. I'm your best friend. I'm Mater. And it's like, what would you do if I wasn't racing and on the road? I don't know. What do you mean by that? You love racing. I'm Mater. And Lightning McQueen's like, Doc could help me. And he's like, yeah, Doc was the smartest car I know. I'm Mater. What about, except for maybe the guy that trained Doc? And Lightning McQueen's like, you're right. Somebody had to train Doc. Who trained Doc? Oh, that's Smokey. We gotta find Smokey. But first, I gotta do something. Mac, we gotta go find Cruz Ramirez, but she stormed off. And he's like, I'm sorry. I broke your trophy. I'm sorry. We gotta go find somebody. I need you to train me. We can help each other, okay? We gotta go to Thomasville. So she joins them back in the trailer, and then they drive to Thomasville Speedway, and they're like, we're here. This is where Doc trained. And they're like, do you even know Smokey's alive? He's like, I have no idea. Oh, this is Thomasville. This is where Doc trained. One lap around the track, and they're like, Smokey, you're alive. I never thought this would happen. What? You came back. How did you know I was coming? You're Doc's boy. You're HUD's boy. I knew it was coming. I need you to train me. I gotta beat Jackson Storm. You hear the news? What news? Jackson Storm has highest recorded lap ever. Jackson Storm is going 218 miles per hour. Yeah, Lightning's never gonna win now. No, you're exactly right. Lightning McQueen has a 1.5 chance to win versus Jackson Storm's 95.7. I don't even think Lightning McQueen's gonna show up. Did you hear? He was in a Demolition Derby. And they're like, Lightning McQueen, his career is so totally over. So you can't be faster than Jackson Storm, but you can be smarter. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about being a race car. I'm going to teach you about drifting. I'm going to teach you about drafting. I'm going to teach you everything I know about being a race car. Okay, let's get training. And then it's like, you got to catch Cruz Ramirez. She's Jackson Storm. You didn't show up for qualifying, so you got 3 laps to catch her. You start in the back. I win. You're old. You said you're old. You Lightning McQueen. You gotta do this. You can do this. And then they're like going behind him and he's throwing hay bales and anchors, and if there's a window, you gotta get through it. Okay. You might not be faster than the Jackson Storm, but you can be smarter. You know, the whole Rocky IV thing, they're doing like the old ways, and Jackson Storm's on the simulator and the treadmill, and yeah, that's montage. They're like, hey, let's do a little fun. Let's go an old time race. Let's go through the forest, can't use headlights, it's fun. We do it when the moon is shining, because I used to run moonshine, haha, really funny. So he's going, and then his fancy new paint job wears off. He's old paint job, and he's like, Mac, I think we're ready. Okay, Lightning, let's go to the big race. So, oh my gosh, well, this is the big race. And who's gonna show up? Lightning McQueen shows up with his pit crew and his crew chief. Is that Smokey? He trained Doc Hudson. So, Lightning, you gonna have your final race today? I heard about that. How exciting. You're going down, Storm. Lightning moved from last place into 20th place, but he's still got a long way to go to catch Jackson Storm. Pit stop, and he's like, you're doing so good, Lightning. And he's like, I can't do this. I'm too old. What are you doing here, Cruz? You gotta go train the next guy. We know McQueen can't win this. Fine. I wish Cruz was here. Win or lose, I want to see how Cruz does. Cruz. Call Cruz. And it's like, call from Chester Whippersfield. Chester Whippersfield? That's lightning. He needs my help. And he's like, I got an idea. So then it's like 50 laps later, and they pit, and Cruz is here, and they're like, Cruz, get ready. You're going to race. He's like, what? She's not a racer. You can't do that. That's illegal. The only thing that needs to be out there is the number and not the car. But I'm not a racer. Go. And then they paint number 95 on there, and they're like, the chick, she's here. And then they race, and she catches up, and it's like, remember everything I taught you. And he's like, remember everything you taught everybody else. And then she's learning, like, docks and drafting, and it's, like, the final lap, and she's like, I'm gonna win. He's like, what? You can't win. You're not a racer. And then she starts falling back, and Lightning McQueen's like, but you are a racer. Remember Thunder Hollow? And he's like, I won at Thunder Hollow. And everybody's like, yeah, Thunder Hollow, yeah. And then she's like, I'm gonna win. And then Jackson Storm's like, pushes her into the wall, but then she barrel flips out of it, and she's like, yeah, Stock did that. And then she wins, and they're like, yay, congratulations, Cruz Ramirez. And it's like, I don't know why you did that, but thank you. You won. And they're like, no, Lightning, you won. You started the race, Lightning, so technically, you still won, and you can do whatever you want. And Sterling's like, I was wrong about you, Cruz Ramirez. You are a racer. And she's like, yes, but I'm never racing for you. And then you got Tex, who's like, I own Dinoco. You want to race for me? Sterling, let's have a talk. And then Lightning McQueen and everybody, they're like watching her back at Willie's Butte. And it's like, you got a new paint job. It's like, oh, Lightning. And he comes and he's looking at all like Doc Hudson. And they're like, let's race around Willie's Butte. Is it weird that I actually got the Dinoco sponsor that you always wanted? He's like, nah. But now, technically, I'm a Dinoco car, because Tex bought Rusty's. And I made Sterling a big off. And then it ends. And that is Cars 3 for you. So did you enjoy Cars 3? Did you enjoy my reenactment of Cars 3? Subscribe if you enjoyed it. Like this video, comment. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you later.